Hi everyone, my name is Sanjeev. In this video, I will demo how to configure Inbound TLS context for Anypoint Flex Gateway deployed in connected mode. I will also demo how to apply Inbound TLS context to the API in API Manager. I have deployed the Anypoint Flex Gateway on my local Docker container. I have a Docker desktop. I have deployed the Anypoint Flex Gateway here. I can show you in a Anypoint platform as well. Before that, let me show you I ran this command to deploy the Anypoint Flex Gateway. I deployed in connected mode and I used the port 8082. I could have used 8081 as well, but because we are going to demo HTTPS, so I just used 8082, but even 8081 also could have been fine. I modified those commands and ran it, and I deployed the Anypoint Flex Gateway here, right here. It is in connected mode. Let me go to the runtime manager, Flex Gateway. And here is my Anypoint Flex Gateway. Name is SB Spring Boot Dash Gateway TLS Demo. I have a Spring Boot API deployed here. It's running on 8091 on HTTP protocol. I can access here on browser. So I can access using localhost, and here I'm using my laptop's IP address. So I'm able to invoke this. I was working on localhost and on my laptop's IP address. This IP address, I got it using the ipconfig command. So here is the response. Hello there. This is Hello API. I can add this API to the Flex Gateway, and I can access this API through the Flex Gateway. So let's do it. I will go to the Anypoint Manager, add API, add new API, Flex Gateway. I will select the Flex Gateway that is connected. Click Next. Create new API. Name Hello API. HTTP API asset type. Click Next. 8082. So this is the port is mapped from my laptop to the Docker container for Flex Gateway. So I'm using protocol HTTP port 8082. Base path I can give API. Next. Route label I will give a Hello API route, and let me copy Hello API and I will put this in upstream label. I can copy the upstream URL. I will copy all the way till /API from the beginning, and I will add here. Click Next. So here we have Flex Gateway. This is the name of Flex Gateway. This is Hello API detail, and this is the port where this API, Hello API has been added. This is base context, and here is the route. This is the implementation of Spring Boot API. Save and deploy. So this API has been added to the Flex Gateway. Now I can access this through the Flex Gateway. So I will go to the local host 8082/API/hello. Click enter and we are able to access it. So here we are accessing directly, and here we are accessing through the Flex Gateway. You can also apply a policy. Let's apply quickly one policy. Add policy. I will select basic authentication simple. Click next. I will give the username Spring Boot -h and same password. Apply. Policy has been applied. Now if we access through Flex Gateway, it should ask for username password. It's asking for username password. Let me get the username password. I will copy the username, enter the password, sign in. and we got the response. So we are able to access the API, and the basic authentication policy is applied on this API. Configuration detail. Here is the flow. Client is calling API gateway where we are applying the policy, and then Flex Gateway is calling the Spring Boot API. Now we will make the client and API gateway communication secure using SSL. So we will enable the SSL here at API gateway, at Flex Gateway, and communication between client and API gateway, Flex Gateway, will use the TLS. So to enable the TLS, I will create a TLS context. I need to go to the secret manager, and that's where I will create the secret group and TLS context. I will go to the secret manager. I will change the environment sandbox. I will create a new secret group. I will give the name Spring Boot secret group. I will click the checkbox, click save. Here I will add the Keystore, add Keystore. I will give the name Spring Boot API Keystore. Type is PEM. Now I will provide the certificate file name and Keystore file name. I will go to the Explorer, and here are my files. I have created the private key file and the public certificate file. I will use these files to configure the Keystore. I will use the choose file here, and I will choose the public certificate file. Here is the detail. CN is localhost. Organization unit is IT. Organization is ABC Inc. Location New Delhi. State Delhi, and country India. Now I will provide the private key file, choose file, and here I will provide the private key. I will not provide any expiration date. It will pick from certificate. I will click save. So I have added the Keystore to the secret group. Now I will add the TLS context. Add TLS context. I will give the name Spring Boot TLS context, Spring Boot -tc. Target, I will use Flex Gateway. Minimum TLS version, I will use 1.1. Maximum 1.3. Keystore, Spring Boot API Keystore that we just created, just added. Expiration date I'm not providing. ALPN protocol default is fine. And here I will add the cipher. So we have recommended cipher and we have secured cipher. We will also provide a one cipher for TLS 1.1. So I will select this one, but you can use any TLS 1.1 cipher. Click save. So we have added the TLS context as well. Now I will add this TLS context as an inbound TLS context to Hello API. I will go to the API manager. Now I will go to the Hello API settings, and here protocol is HTTP and inbound TLS is disabled. So we want to use HTTPS. So I will select HTTPS, and now inbound TLS is enabled. Now we can add our TLS context here. So we will add the inbound TLS context. Select the group, Spring Boot secret group, TLS context, Spring Boot TLS context. Click OK. So we have added the Spring Boot TLS context. Port 8082 is fine. Everything else is same. There is no change. We are hitting the upstream API, Spring Boot API. I will save and apply. So this will add the inbound TLS context. So changes has been applied. Now I will go to the action, view configuration detail, and here you can see that this Flex Gateway is now SSL enabled. Now communication between client, in our case browser, to the Flex Gateway will be on SSL. So it's a secured communication. We will use HTTPS now. And you can see that we are using here HTTPS. So we can invoke this now. So right now if we invoke on HTTP, it won't work. Now I will use the HTTPS, click enter. Here it is saying connection is not private. We can go to advanced, proceed to the local host, and we are able to access it. It's asking for a user password. We can give the user password, Spring Boot H, and here I will copy and paste it. Sign in. We can access the API now. We can see the certificate. So this is a certificate. CN is localhost. Organization is ABC Inc. Unit is IT. And that's what we noticed when we added the public certificate to the Keystore. We can import this to our browser test store. But anyway, we are able to access and we are communicating on HTTPS and we are getting the response. So this is how you can configure the TLS, inbound TLS to the Flex Gateway, and you can secure the communication and you can use HTTPS. I hope you understood how to create a secret group and TLS context, how to add the Keystore in the secret group, and then how to add the inbound TLS to the API. Right here, we added the inbound TLS here, and we secured the API using HTTPS. This is all in this video. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.